what you guys think about projection.
Like projection, like projecting?
Projection, people projecting onto you and you projecting onto others.
Ooh. To me, from my experiences, I'm gonna share two. I've seen people project their insecurities, their trauma, their fears, their concerns, their experiences onto me. And that stemmed from something that they experienced in their life that they now have the knowledge of and now think that and expect for it to happen to them every single time from everyone else. That's one example of projecting. And I actually found myself projecting in a lot of cases too. And I had to really go and analyze it and be like, damn, I learned this from being around certain people, or I experienced it, and now it's a fear or insecurity or a concern, and now I'm applying and I'm projecting that onto you, thinking that because this person did this to me, I now think that all of you guys are going to do it to me.
Do you mind sharing one of your projections that you came to a realization of?
I think I was around a lot of insecure people, a lot of insecure men.
So insecurity would be one of them.
Insecure, I'm gonna be honest. Insecure, not in the sense of, I go in the mirror, you are ugly! No, not that. Because you could be confident, you could be the best looking, fittest man in the world, best dressed man, smelling good, and still have a insecurity, right? And mine was projecting, thinking that no matter how great of a woman that I may have, no matter how great of a man I may be, that this person is going to hurt me, and thinking that I needed to monitor everything and control everything to avoid that from happening. I never experienced being cheated on. I never did personally that I knew of. And if somebody did cheat, you got it. I ain't catch your ass. You lucky.
They say women are the best cheaters.
Well, they sure enough are.
They say men are dogs and women are cats because cats know how to cover their shit. I heard that. Oh, watch out.
I mean, you the cat dad.
That sounded real deep.
Bars. No. So there was something that I had to deal with within myself, and not gain confidence because I'm a confident man, but had to deal with that thought because I was around people that thought, you can't trust women. You can't trust this person. No. You can't. Don't let your woman around this person because women ain't do. Wow, what do you mean? She's a great woman and I made a great choice and she could be around as many men as she wants. What's going to happen? You get what I'm saying? So that's something that I learned how to no longer project.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jeff?
Myself, it stems from so many different departments. Biggest one probably for me is like having a hard time being accepted for who I am. And it came to a point that I started isolating myself away from society and people because I got tired of people choosing to project what they've experienced or they lack of, self-love, and having an issue with me choosing to be confident in applying within myself. And I'm a person that loves to uplift people and make people feel comfortable, not only finding out who they are and they're destined to be in their purpose, but just, it brings me joy seeing people walk this world themselves because it makes me a better person, because I feed from that. I've always been the type of person to seek from the best, and learn from the best. Not to be like them, but just to, take, bits from here, there, and apply it to myself. There's no one that started anything first. Let's be real.
Yeah, there's nothing new under the sun.
You're not going to be the only person that owns a pair of those Jordans, or, that flower pot over there.
Unless it's one of these.
But, you can implement, your sense of take within these objects and make it unique from you being you.
I agree. I think a lot of my, I think people projecting onto me more so. I always was firm with who I am. I always liked that. And there was moments in life that I did lose myself, but I grabbed myself back together, you know. So it's like I realized that people are uncomfortable with what they don't recognize. You know, and they don't recognize it because they don't see it within themselves.
Right.
So it's just like, let me make you lesser for me so I can be comfortable being around you.
It's horrible.
So, I mean, I'm asking a rhetorical question because I've fixed things that I've projected, but can you give somebody advice that's watching this on how to identify what projecting is and how to change it? Because it's not healthy.
First, identifying what projection is, it starts with what's not comfortable for you. What feels, it's not at, if you don't feel at ease with it, it's not of you. When you are who you are, you're going to be calm, right? So understanding yourself as a person. If you let people or the world tell you who you are, you're going to be forever lost. So understand who you are first, so when those projections do come, you're easily able to identify it, and you're easily able to remove it from yourself. Don't become of it.
And for me, it's get to know people and hear different responses. That's very important. I'm big.
Get to know new people.
Get to know new people.
Yeah.
It's very important to get to know new people.
So why do you say that?
I'll say, you know, from being a Haitian black man from Newark, you know, who had a so-called problem with being too comfortable expressing who I am, you know, it was a hard time. They gave me a hard time. You know, every step of the way, every age, my age. And everybody was always like, they choose to be steps ahead of me. They wanted to act older than what they were, you know? And I've learned how to be uncomfortable, being uncomfortable. I'm like, okay, I'm already uncomfortable within my own community, my culture, my neighborhood. What's okay? I'm gonna go be the only black guy within amongst of white people, or Philippines, or Indians.
That's actually pretty fun to do,
right? And I'm like, yo, why is it so comfortable for me being myself here? Why do they get so much joy of me being me or intrigued? And if I ask them for favors or, you know, in ways to elevate, it's without a problem.
Outside of our community?
Outside of our community.
You don't feel like they're projecting like that?
Not at all.
So it's safe to say it's safe to say that our community is probably one of the most traumatized communities.
Absolutely.
There, right?
But your own community is going to be the most potent, right? So
Right.
definitely, you know, we have a lot of trauma that we have to, you know, navigate through as we develop. We're talking about from childhood trauma, being raised as in a Haitian household, that plays a big part into it as well. And then you have the environment that you surround yourself in.
Ooh. I just got brought back to a couple of experiences. Our Thanksgiving.
Oh,
remember?
yeah.
You know, our community is fucked up. Our community is messed up. Our people have mental issues and they have traumas that they need to unpack. Therapy is important. Being able to be conscientious of yourself and monitoring your habits and grading yourself. Which habit needs to change? Which habit needs to stay? You know? But I realized because our community has that problem where most of us are traumatized, a lot of you see how you just said you went outside of our community and you found it easier to be yourself and be received by people. A lot of people find themselves removing themselves from our community and being in those communities that are healthier and saying, I'm home. And what they do, they try to conform themselves to those people.
And I got to piggyback off you. And that wasn't my, you know, objective. It It was just to understand their resources and actually.
Yeah, you stay true.
I stay true.
Stay true.
I know who I am. I wasn't gonna lose, the sauce.
When you exactly. Like, how do you lose your sauce? Like, do you know? I told who did I tell my? Did I say this to my father? I forgot who I said this to. They said that a certain. Oh yeah, I know who said this. Hey boo. Call me. She said there's a certain group of people that are a threat to America and to black people. I disagreed with her. I said the biggest threat to a black man is a coon. And it's another black man that frowns upon black men and gives praise to other people outside of their race. You're the biggest threat.
That is so true, and
I can't stand y'all.
I'm not gonna hold you. That moment on Thanksgiving, I cringed. I was balling up my fist.
It's a lot of y'all.
I'm not gonna hold you if the food wasn't that good.
It's a lot. It's a lot of y'all. It's a lot of y'all.
It's a lot of y'all.
It's a lot of y'all black men, good-looking black men, smart but not intelligent. You're smart because you remember information, but you're not intelligent because you don't know how to take that information and correlate it and apply it to yourself.
And also lead.
And also lead. You, coon.
Coon ass.
Coon. And there's women too. There's
George Clooney.
What is George Clooney? Ty Cloon? You know, like, there's women too. We haven't thought of a name for you. But you, my friend. But you're
Tony
not.
Braxton.
Cooney Braxton?
Nah, but it's
You are the biggest threat to black America. You, the one who wants to fit in to another community that might be in a better space mentally, financially.
like you said, might.
Might be.
Might
Because
be.
let me tell you, every community has a problem.
Yes.
Right.
So, if I, who have found success in corporate America, which the higher you go, the less of this you see.
Mm-hmm.
But I never conform myself to make people feel comfortable. I know how to navigate, but I stay true to who and what I am. But you, black man, black woman, who knocks black people, knocks the minority, and minimizes any effort that a black person is doing out here to give praise to another person that is outside of our community to make those people comfortable, you are the biggest threat.
And I admire her for the approach that she takes working the corporate world as well, and how she conducts herself in society. And I have a front row seat to actually witnessing it in action. It's a beautiful thing, man. So you go on ahead and you break it down, your experiences.
I mean, I experienced something that if you don't know, you don't have enough knowledge, if you don't do your own study, you don't do your own research, people will try to get over on you. So knowledge is power. Utilize it.
Mm-hmm. And it's all about, the community, man. That's where it's what we're working towards, bringing, light to our communities. And how we do that is like, learning how to adapt to different resources and obtaining that knowledge, implementing it with yourself.
And then spreading it.
That's it.
I mean, the topic was projection, but I got a little passionate about, and that's what Shooting the Breeze is. Shooting the Breeze, the topic might start to something, and it might go into a remedy for something else. And projecting stems from trauma internally, and trauma internally requires for us to find a remedy. And the remedy is not us turning against our people to then put ourselves around people that are in better spaces, but they're really not.
I mean,
But
it's been done for years. That's where slavery came from. Was us selling our own people.
Slavery, yeah, we were selling our own people.
Yeah.
Those were the biggest threats.
Yeah.
The individuals, the Africans that were selling Africans to slave traders were the biggest threat to Africans.
Right.
Yeah, but one thing is nobody can hold us down.
You can't hold us
We
down.
keep coming. We keep coming.
We gonna expose y'all. If I step into a room with any one of y'all, you gonna get exposed.
But here's the thing with projection. Projection is not always a bad thing. It can also be a good thing. When you project something positive, it could probably shift somebody's perspective.
Oh, okay.
Not always a bad thing.
And we project positive
All
to
the
each other
time.
all the time.
All the time.
Let's
and
be
you
real.
say that because sometimes we don't know what we're actually doing.
Right, it kind of like open up the mind in a sense, you know. Like you may feel some type of way at first, but then they'll go back, and when you sit with yourself alone, you're like, wait, you know, maybe this perception is not bad, you know.
And this is one thing you do all the time. That's why I love you.
Your self-reflection,
like,
right?
you
Right.
always do that.
Yeah.
But you also projected to me being a better leader, and me
Right.
not. At one point, I did not feel comfortable about
Right.
leading,
Right.
but you were like, "Nah, you."
Yeah. Big shout out to Mom Dukes, Mom. I gotta give praise to my mom. She was always trying to pull that independence out of me.
She's so cute.
You know what I'm saying?
My mother as well.
Always
too.
trying to pull that independence out of me. Learn how to pick fruits. Learn how to pick vegetables. Cook for yourself. Clean for yourself. Know how to do that. It's good to have a wife, but you gotta know how to do that yourself.
Moms know best.
So to close it,
I agree.
so to close it all together, projection could be a good thing, could be a bad thing, but what is required is self-reflection.
Hey.
So that's the moral of it all. You have to make time to do self-inventory to determine what you're projecting. Is it good for you? Is it good for those around you? Or is it a detriment? Shoot the breeze.